So how many of you guys have seen me here before? Some of you? Not a lot of you. Here? What? Anywhere. Seen me somewhere. Okay. I should just do that like other places where people might see me since you clapped, like at the bank or the taco store. Yeah, we've seen you. Yeah, people clap for me. I'm from Illinois originally. I live in Nashville, Tennessee now, and I traveled in bands. I was in a band called The Normals for about 5 years. We never played in Connecticut. We should have done that. We stopped being a band not because we hated each other, but because we couldn't afford to be in a band together anymore. We loved it, and it was a great time. And then after that ended, I played with a band named Caveman's Call for about 6 years, and yeah, which was a lot of fun. We got to just do some amazing things with those guys, and so I ended up traveling for about 11 years, the kind of like 250 days a year kind of traveling, which is a lot, because it turns out there are only like 365 days in the year. So, but I'm married and I have two beautiful little girls, and a couple years ago I really felt like I was kind of done traveling. Not like I didn't like it. I actually was having sort of the most fun, and it was the best year I'd had on the road, which like 2009, and it was going great, and it hadn't for a long time. It was a lot of work. And finally, it was going great, and I felt like the Lord saying, "You're done." So I quit, and I started producing records full time. And so for the last 2.5 years now, my daughter's who's 5 is about to turn 6, so years are done in fractions right now. It's like, you're 5 and 50 seconds. So, sorry. But for about the past 2.5 years or so, I've been producing records full-time at a little studio in Nashville, which has just been a blast, and getting to work with people like Nick. And anyway, long story short, I don't get to do a lot of concerts anymore. And so it's really fun when I get to do this. So thank you guys so much. This is a huge gift to me that you would give me an hour or two of your time. So anyway, thanks. So I'm from a small town in Illinois, and you may have heard of Illinois if you like corn. And so I grew up in the 90s. I was in like junior high and high school in the 90s. And so for a while there, we also had the Chicago Bulls. And I think we still have them, but they don't matter anymore. But we had Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen, and then we had Dennis Rodman, and white guys named John that shot 3-pointers, and there were a couple of them, and they sort of it didn't matter as long as one was there, we were fine. And I love basketball, and my dad put a hoop up in our yard. It was 9'8". Thanks, Dad. And I would practice all day, every day at basketball, because I had heard that if you believe it, you can achieve it, which is, of course, a total obvious lie. It turns out you have to have, balance and depth perception and things that I don't have. 10 toes. Don't have that. So, anyway, like a few of you are like, did he just say that? I think he just said that. Anyway, so I tried out for the basketball team in 7th grade and 8th grade, and my freshman year, my sophomore year, and my junior year, and I never once made it because I'm terrible. No, that's not that's why didn't you learn after like freshman year? Because there are these things that you fight for, and you like, I don't want to give up. I'm not going to give up. I'm going to keep fighting for this thing. And man, sometimes I have chosen poorly the things that I fight for. And one was basketball, and it kept me from playing guitar. I could have maybe started doing this a couple years earlier and found something I was created to do and can do well. So this song was sort of written out of that, wanting to remind myself to, choose the right battle. So it's called The Ball Game. I was always a sideline player if I even made the team. Me and the ball in the driveway were the best of friends. I watched my brother grow up to be over 6 feet tall. Just when he had the chance, he got bored and put down the ball.
never got bored, no, I just gave up. Knew it was never gonna happen, so I stopped. Now each Saturday, me and some other guys play and talk of how good we were when we were young. When we were young. But this time it's not a ball game. It's not a school play. It's not a book that lets you bend the page. This is the one life. These are the passing days. Don't wanna look back to see I'm wasted. So my friend Mark and I, who started the band The Normals with me, we went to high school together, and when we were in high school, we started our first band, and we had a monthly show at the Barnes & Noble coffee shop area, and we would sit on stools and wear berets backwards and sing in harmony and puberty together. And Mark and I started a band back in high school because we thought it might make us cool. We did Tom Petty and the Beatles, James Taylor and U2. I got a record deal, but you know how that went. The records didn't sell and the money got spent. We were 5 guys now, grown up, couldn't pay the rent. Well, I kept playing guitar, but somewhere I just gave up. Thought it was never gonna happen, so I stopped. But I stayed close enough to the things I want. My good friends tell me that's not enough, and I'm starting to think they might be right. This is not a ball game. It's not a school play. It's not a book that lets you bend the page. This is the one life. These are the passing days. Don't wanna look back to see I've wasted. 'Cause I've got children and bills to pay. So show me what to hold and what is in the way. Oh, now. This is not a ball game. It's not a school play. It's not a book that lets you bend the page and turn right back. No, this is the one life. These are the passing days. Don't wanna look back to see I'm wasted. Don't wanna look back.